Hey folks, Mike Dawkins from Worldcast Anglers here with your Jackson Hole fly fishing forecast for the last weekend in July 27th and 28th. The past couple of days have still been a scorcher here in the greater Teton Valley in Jackson Hole area. And in fact, we're starting to beat some records, and it looks like 2024 is shaping up to be the fourth warmest on record, behind 2021, which was a scorcher the past couple years ago. But our current conditions are staying, and I would get used to things being hot, and I would get used to things being really dry. I'm going to stress it again, and you're going to get sick of hearing me talk about warming water temperatures. It is going to be a constant theme as we go into the month of August, as our days are still long and we're still getting above average daytime temperatures and below average precip. So concentrate those areas when you start to see those water temperatures climb above 67, 68 degrees. Be on the water early, get off early. Concentrate on those times of 8 a.m. until noon when water temperatures are the coolest and the dissolved oxygen content of our rivers and streams are at the highest. That, paired with your thermometer and being aware of what's going on around you, is going to be uber friendly to our trout friends going into the scorcher of August that we're sort of looking into. We've got our Fly Shop happy hour every Friday through the summer season. $1 flies, 50% off streamers. We've got $1 tall boys for those 21 and up. We've got our sale rack at 60% off, and we've got buy one, get one free hats. So remember that. That's 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Friday during the summer season. Palisades Reservoir right now, 81% of capacity. Jackson Lake, 94% of capacity. If you spent any time on Jackson Lake lately, it is full and it is beautiful and very different than what we know of the past couple of seasons when Jackson Lake has been drained in just single digits of percentage of full. Saturday, we're going to have a little cold front come through. It's starting up right around now. We've had overcast mornings and a little bit breezier temperatures and some cloud cover that's keeping it a little bit cooler, but that's the leading edge of this cold front. Saturday, check this out, 74 and 47. Sunday, 78 and 51. So we're going to see a nice little cool down coming into the weekend after a scorcher of a Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday that is going to be very welcome by all fly fishing guides, anglers, and our trout friends alike. Unfortunately, our 10-day forecast, we're right back into the high 80s and low 90s with not much precip, so that is going to be that common theme of the summer season. The South Fork of the Snake, we've got around 10,000 CFS coming out of Palisades Dam, 10,300 CFS there on the lower river. The South Fork of the Snake is still fishing incredibly well right now. We're seeing great golden hatches. Our foam fishing and dry dropper fishing has been strong and continues to be lots and lots of fun. The PMD fishing and the caddis fishing on the riffles, during that 10 to 3 p.m. time frame has been exemplary. It's been so much fun. It's been some of the best that we've seen in the past 4 or 5 years, and it's definitely worth checking out. It is why we love the small dry fly fishing on the South Fork, but those fish are getting educated. And as I've said in previous fly fishing forecasts, make that first cast count, because a lot of times that's one of the only ones that you'll get the fish to eat your fly. Be ready with a plethora of different CDC and tricked out sort of Spring Creek style PMDs, some caddis imitations, and you'll have lots of fun out there. The Snake in Jackson, 1,840 CFS coming out of Jackson Lake Dam, 3,600 CFS there on the lower river before the salt in the grays. Similarly, the Snake is fishing in true summertime fashion. Golden stones, PMDs, caddis, yellow sallies. The dry dropper fishing has been lots of fun, and the small dry fly fishing is picking up consistency. We're starting to see some of those water temperatures, especially around the moose gauge, hit that 67, 68 degree mark, which means, hey, check it out, get off the water, stop fishing, row off. Similarly, as I was saying before, be on the water early, be off the water early, concentrate your efforts in that 8 a.m. to noon time frame when those water temperatures are the coldest. And we'll see what happens with this little cool down coming up this weekend that's going to help a lot of our river systems and tributaries chill out a little bit. The Teton and Teton Valley, 446 CFS by Driggs, 726 CFS down there on the lower river. The lower river is definitely susceptible to warmer water temperatures. So similarly, as I was saying, definitely be on the water early, carry your thermometer, be aware of what water temperatures you're fishing at those times. The river up here in the valley has still been fishing quite well. It's been an early morning, daylight to 2 p.m. sort of styled fishery with PMDs. We're starting to see, really good spinner falls in the morning. We're seeing a lot of caddis. We're seeing some leftover yellow sallies, and we're starting to see the beginning of terrestrials, which will become a theme here, especially in a hot, dry summer, that I'd start throwing a couple more of those in your box, your hopper droppers, your little ants, your little beetles, and terrestrials of those types of imitations. The Henry's Fork, we've got 1,540 CFS coming out of the box, 2,260 CFS there on the lower river. Common theme, we're seeing some warmer water temps that are plaguing a little bit of the lower river, as well as the ranch area where that water starts to slow down, heat up, and it doesn't have that dissolved oxygen content that, the box or maybe the Warm River to Ashton area seems to have, more consistently through the hot, dry summer season. So be aware of those. Be on the water early, be off the water early. Those are going to mostly be a PMD game and a caddis game for the rest of the summer until we start to see some cooler days and nights. It's also going to become a terrestrial game, as I was just saying, on the Teton. But be on the water early and off the water. The area of the Box Canyon and Warm River to Ashton at these flows that are a little bit above average due to irrigation demand and consumptive water users are still fishing really well. Dry dropper games with Goldens, maybe a big parachute like a leftover green drake parachute, or a big parachute hare's ear with your favorite pheasant tail, perdigon, tungsten tactical jigs, of anything of those sorts has been really effective with your foam dry dropper game as well. Unfortunately, we've had some additional closures in Yellowstone. Some of the areas of Slough Creek, Soda Butte Creek, and some of the areas of the northeast corner of the park are starting to close around 2 p.m. I've updated our fishing reports with a map of our Yellowstone fisheries that are now either closed, Firehole, Madison, Gibbon, or under a hoot owl closure, which are restricted hours of fishing to those cooler water temperature times of the morning. So if you're heading up to the park, definitely check out our fishing reports online. I've got that map in a detailed list of those fisheries and those closures. There's been some really good fishing on Yellowstone Lake and the river directly below Yellowstone Lake too. If you're looking for some walk wade fishing, that's definitely one to check out. Speaking of walk wade fishing, now's the time for our tributaries and creeks that are flowing out of the high country. Naturally, they've got cooler water. They've got highly oxygenated water. There's usually not the traffic that you see on our big name rivers like the Snake or the South Fork of the Snake. So do yourself a favor, pack a backpack, pack a lunch, grab the 2-weight or 3-weight and some puck of dry flies, and have at it and have a blast in some of those creeks and tributaries in a DIY walk wade fashion. Once again, we've got our Fly Shop happy hour, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. with the deals I listed before. Thanks for tuning in. Stay cool out there, stay hydrated, have fun on the water, and be safe on the water, and we'll see you here next week.